Hi guys, welcome back to another video of Joseph's Cooking University. Today we'll be cooking a filet mignon steak with potatoes. For your steaks, you will be using your steak, rosemary, butter, salt, pepper, and canola oil. For potatoes, you will be using 4 potatoes, an orange pepper, 1 red onion, sea salt, black pepper, and the canola oil. Now we're gonna peel our potatoes. What you're gonna do is take your potatoes and cut them into squares, something looking around like this. Nothing too crazy, but just cut those up into. After you're done cutting all your ingredients, you should have this much of your peppers and onions, and sometimes you'll have more or less than these potatoes. Alright, so we're gonna turn on our stove to around medium. Then we're gonna take our canola oil and not put too much because we're just coating this time. So just put a little bit, not too much. Then we're gonna come over here and take our onions and peppers, and we're just gonna dump them in. And you're gonna need something to mix this up, so we're gonna use just a 1 spoon. And what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be sauteing. Okay, now we're gonna be adding our potatoes. So we're gonna take our potatoes and just dump them in. You should know when they're about ready because they'll start to sizzle and the onions will start to turn colors. So we're gonna add all of that in. And then we're gonna take our salt and pepper. But before we add it, we're gonna mix it a little just before we get it even. So we just put it out there a little, nothing too crazy. And then now we're gonna just take our black pepper and we just sprinkle it on. But we're not gonna put too much because we don't wanna overpower it too much. And then after we are done adding our black pepper, we're gonna take our sea salt and just put some in like that. Alright, and then once you're done doing that, you're just gonna wanna mix it. And it's gonna be a little hard to mix it, but you just gotta make sure you mix it for all the flavor goes everywhere. Because you want this to turn into a golden brown, and then that's when you know that they're starting to cook. Okay, while the potatoes are cooking, we're gonna get started on our steaks. So what you're gonna need to season your steaks are black pepper and sea salt. And you're just gonna put them on both sides, but you gotta make sure to use something to flip them besides your hands, because then you're gonna cross-contaminate your food. Okay, to prepare our steaks, we're gonna take a bit of olive oil, and just put not too much because we don't want to overdo it. Like that. Then we're going to take our stove and put it to medium. And we're going to take our steaks and pick them up and throw it in there. And we're going to do these for all of them. And make sure to give them some space so they don't stick together because you don't want them sticking together. Okay, last one. All right, now they're gonna start cooking. And when they start cooking, we're gonna be adding our butter. For this quantity, we're gonna wanna do about 3 pieces of butter, just like half an inch. Okay, to start a steak, we're gonna take an iron skillet and put some oil into it. You want to make sure that your skillet is warm before adding your steaks. Mine's already warm, so I'm going to be starting to add my steaks. So I just take my steak and throw it in. And you continue to do that for each one, and you give them their space. Okay, you want to give them space before they don't stick together, because if they stick together, it's not going to be as good, and it's going to be a lot harder for you to cook it. All right? All right. So you're going to hear maybe a little bit of a sizzle. Then we're going to add our butter, and for this quantity, you're going to put around just 3 little pieces, each piece being only like ½ an inch. And we're going to throw them in, and we're going to make sure to, before they don't stick, you put them in their own areas, and then we're going to start. And then we're going to take a rosemary and put it on. Alright, so once you start that, it's going to start seasoning, and you're just going to want to cook it like a regular steak. Just cook it on the side until they start cooking into a nice brown color. Okay, so when it's about like 5 minutes, you're going to want to flip it because you don't want them to get burned. You're going to flip them all, and you're going to want to have a timer so you make sure you're cooking them in the right time. And if one doesn't look cooked enough, you can leave it a little longer. So they should be starting to turn in a different color, like this. And you're going to want to do that for 5 minutes each time. And there we go. All right, guys, the food is done, and here is how it looks. Isn't she? So you got your steak, you got your potatoes, if you want, you have your vegetables, and you got that little thing on top for presentation. So, this food might look good, but does this taste good? It's a question. So, I'm going to first start off with a simple potato. It's very good. It's like creamy in the inside, and on the outside, it's nice and soft and a little bit crispy. All right. The potatoes are good. Now we gotta move on to the steak. Let's cut the steak open. Well, I like it a little pink inside, so that's how it looks inside. Let's see how it tastes. You can taste the rosemary. That's good. Alright, overall, pretty good. Nice and chewy. Has that little bit of blood in it, like I like it. Overall, pretty good. Alright, now for the last part. Let's try some broccoli. That's good. It doesn't have any seasoning or anything, but it does taste good. Overall, I think this is pretty good. Presentation-wise, good. Food-wise, good. Taste-wise, it's amazing. So, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more videos like this. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you next time on my next video on Joseph's Cooking University.